Hello everybody and welcome to a video. Let's just get this out of the way. Viewer discretion is advised. If you're a young person that came from some video of mine that about me you've seen in your young person, and it's probably not healthy for you to watch this, and so get your parents' permission before logging on. Thank you very much. Okay, I've been doing a lot of streams lately and all that different kinds of stuff. I haven't really made any videos, and I never really ever, maybe I've made like one reaction video ever in my whole time of doing videos, but I just kind of felt like, today might be the day to whip one out. No pun intended, considering what we're going to be delving into here. But, there was, what was that, last year, I think it was, there was this thing out there called the atomic black pill, where there was a Tinder experiment done with a guy who, using a male model photo, and basically said, he admitted to being a child molester, and it did not impact any of his success with the application at all. It did not even phase any of the women who matched with him and discussed this with him. So I didn't really talk about that at the time, maybe in passing, but now another example of this has been laid before me, has been brought to my attention via Twitter. And so I'm going to just talk about it a little bit today and give a couple of my thoughts in this regard. So this is basically just delving into some of the same subject matter here, so let's just get right to it. So we have Chad, the prototypical muscular, good-looking gentleman. Let's see what he has to say in his Tinder profile here. He's 29 years old, works at Kids R Us. I don't think they're even in business anymore, but let's continue. Sup, I'm Chad. You don't like me? Too bad. Things you should know about me, because you'll see the ankle monitor. I'm a convicted child rapist and molester. It's in my past. Made some mistakes, but working each day to fix them. Looking for fun. Longer stuff is cool, but can't be around in a month because I have to go back to jail for stupid thing between me and my ex. She is overreacting about a few slaps I gave her a year ago. Hit me up. Ain't that bad, seriously. So yes, this man here, he is a convicted child rapist, convicted child molester, and he is about to be reincarcerated for domestic violence. Let's see what the women have to say. Alright, our first lovely young lady here, she's 32 years old. I will say, definitely looking good for 32. Looks more like, in her early 20s. Like, I wouldn't say she looks a day over 24 even. Good looking skin. Alright, let's see here. Hey, hi. Yeah. Hey. I said, yeah. Also, read my profile and get back to me. You probably didn't even do that, KK. The man starts off here hopeful. He's getting his first matches, and he's like, there's no way. There's no way this woman read that I'm a rapist of children, and she's continuing to. There can't be a way. Reddit, that for real or joke or what? It was real. It was only one kid. He was 8, and in my mind it felt consensual. But it's over now, and I'm trying to move on. Wow, not really sure what to say. I guess it's cool you're being honest about it, though. Alright, so we see here the woman, personality is very important. It's so important. I mean, if you're not a nice, polite guy, a real gentleman who is honest about raping, you wouldn't want to date some guy who's raping children and not honest about it. So, he's just being honest about it. It just shows he's got good character, good moral standpoint, about to be going back to prison for, or I should say, yes, jail, for beating his ex-girlfriend. It's so nice that he's honest. So many guys are liars and cheaters, right? Yep, so what are you doing right about now? Anything cool? Just bored. Bored on Tinder, looking for fun and stuff. Yourself? Are you from here? Yeah. So, yeah, basically he just, lays out all the information there for her. I'm sure he's expecting her to be like, holy shit, you report this profile. Worthy. Let's just continue here. Alright, now we have a 28-year-old woman. This woman's looking a little more her age. You can tell she's kind of slathering on the makeup a little bit there. See what she has to say. And we matched. Hiya! Ooh, she's got the smiley emojis. There's no way. She's totally based off the picture on this one. If you didn't read my profile already, check it out. Explains why I wear an ankle monitor, which will probably soon my clothes are off. Ew, what the fuck? That serious? Lol. Huh? Yes, it's serious and it's in the past. Take it or leave it. I'm speechless. How old was the kid? 2.5. That's super fucked up, man. Honestly, would just rather stop talking about it, of course. This man is telling you that he raped a 2-year-old child. That is at the heights of depravity, that this man would be fucking crucified. This man would be, this is just so disgusting. Absolutely, makes you want to vomit. It's so disgusting. But a few minutes goes by, and he's like, well, there's no way. Obviously, she's a normal, decent human being, and, oh, no, wait, is that okay? I didn't say I was done talking to you about other stuff. Yeah, no problem, I don't rape anymore, it's cool. I mean, hey, listen, she's not going to let this man being a violent child rapist get in the way of her chance with Chad. I mean, come on, that's Chad we're talking about here. That's the Chad we're talking about. I mean, obviously, she's only attracted to his personality of being a violent child rapist. I mean, he's just being himself. He probably took a shower, so, it all makes sense. All right, next up here we have a younger woman here, 23 years old. I presume this is her in the photo here. Looks healthy. Looks like a nice, healthy girl. No visible, a little bit, I think she got a little bit of a dye hair going on, or maybe a dirty blonde. No tattoos. Sun-kissed skin. Looks like a healthy weight. A woman who would never match with me. Let's continue on here. Hey there! Doesn't even matter what I say, does it? Huh? Just read my profile, see what I did, and brush it aside so we can go ahead and smash, okay? So your plan here is to boss me around and expect to do everything because... You say because why? Forget it. Okay, at this point, she's probably read this man's a violent, convicted child rapist, and he's being very, very rude to her, basically just nagging shit out of her. So obviously, women only care about personality. They only care about nice, good, gentle guys. So she's obviously going to just totally cast this guy off. You give up easy, don't you? Whatever. Calm down, silly. I did read your profile. Can we move on now? And there it is. For fuck's sake. What? Forget it. Alright, so basically, his personality must just be so good. He probably just beat himself and pulled himself up by the bootstraps. So you can probably tell he took a shower recently. So she's like, oh my god, yes, okay, yes, you rape babies. Oh my goodness, yes, you're a violent woman beater. I don't care. Because obviously his personality is just so good that she just has no choice. Alright, then lastly here we have this chick, 27. Yeah, she's looking a little beat. You can kind of tell. She's got a little bit of that handbag skin going on. But let's see what she's got to say here. Your photos just made my day. She probably can tell that he just took a shower. And it's probably just, he's got that good, gentle smile that a polite gentleman would have. Okay. Okay to you, too. Jeez, don't like compliments, do we? Laughing, crying faces. Lol, you're good. Make sure you read my profile, though. Seriously. Yes, I read it. And yes, I'm okay with it. As long as you're a different person. We all make mistakes. Yes, we all, everybody, who among us is not a violent rapist of, that's just, I know women, they'll say that every man does that. They say like 1 in 1 women is raped. They make up all these fake statistics. That's obviously bullshit. But anyway, but the way this is what they think though. Anyways, moving on here. Sweet, not everyone thinks like that. Some people think it's terrible to molest kids and that I should be killed. And the little boy was 6, so I wasn't a baby or anything. What are you up to? Well, it sounds like you've been through a lot and learned your lesson. Right now, I'm cooking dinner, and you? Horny as fuck. Haha, you're kind of blunt, aren't you? Crying laughing face. So you live close to me or what? I'm about a few minutes away, actually. So, this guy, he's a convicted child rapist and woman beater and literally is about to be reincarcerated for beating a woman, but hey, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. Come on, you guys make, that kind of reminds me when I dated my ex-girlfriend. And the reason why she said that she cheated on me with another guy is because I ignored her for like 1 too many minutes. She was just screeching at me about some dumb shit, and I happened to just basically tell her that I wasn't in the mood for it. And so she turned right around and cheated on me, But hey, you know what? Obviously, this guy's personality is just so good. He's just such, such a nice, polite gentleman that him raping and beating people and all the different stuff, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter whatsoever. So, a few things I want to say about this here. I kind of covered this on the Weekly Sweat when I was on there a week or so ago. Yeah, it's really, really not good for this kind of information to be out there. It's really not so good. Why is it really not so good? Well, basically, I think more and more men are beginning to realize, and I've actually been told myself in this last year here that I myself am an instigator of violence. This is what I've been told, and I asked this person why. I asked them, why am I an instigator of violence? They told me, they said, because I made a couple videos about hybristophilia over the last year and a half here now. I wasn't even familiar with it at the time, but I got a little bit familiar with it as I was trying to meet women again, and they kept on telling me about how they love to be beaten into bloody pulps, and I thought that was sickening and shocking and horrible. So I had a couple women who have, kind of reached out to me over the last year or some change here and said, oh, you're a promoter of violence. Well, I don't. I would never advocate violence, ever, ever, ever in a million years. I would never condone any kind of violence, ever, ever, ever. That's just not so good. I'm a big man. Why do you think I made the Black Pill video? I'm a fan of civilization. I'm a fan of cohesive stable civilization and healthy, happy lives and all those great, fantastic things in this world. I already had a sip open, by the way. I just haven't drank any. But I don't think it's very good to basically have... Yeah, the funny thing about this is that they're probably going to try to find some way to, like, make you have to fucking attach your license to Tinder or something, the Chad verification system or some shit. But it's not very good when you have a extremely sharp increase over recent years of men who are celibate, and it's just going up and up and up. The amount of men who are having sexual, intimate relations and romantic relationships with women is increasingly getting smaller and smaller and smaller, while the amount of women who are having sexual and intimate and romantic relationships with men is really not changing. They're all just funneling into this one percentage of men, this small group of men, which is causing the STD rates to explode. Drug-resistant, antibiotic-resistant, treatment-resistant STDs are just going crazy right now and could very well lead to a huge outbreak that kills a lot of people in the future, and this is very real and very serious. And so basically, you have a bunch of guys who are just becoming increasingly atomized, increasingly radicalized, increasingly told that their lives are worthless, they have male privilege, and they're just the worst, and all their hobbies are being invaded and trampled upon, and they're just basically subject to slander and all kinds of horrible, evil threats and all kinds of things all day and night. They have nothing to fall back on. You know, the job market is increasingly shit. Women, they're making laws like in California where it's all affirmative action. Women are just given free jobs for nothing. They're getting all kinds of stuff just given to them. Men are getting fucking cut out of the picture as much as possible. You know, in the family, the government's replacing the man. Basically just shitting on them more and more and more and just trying to fucking ruin them as much as possible. Putting on these like Law and Order episodes where, you know, virgin equals demon monster, virgin equals serial killer, virgin equals absolutely the worst person in the whole world. And then meanwhile, we got Chad here, the convicted child rapist and convicted woman beater that the women don't give a shit about any of that at all. They just want to run right to him. And we're getting this information out here, you know, one way or another. We're receiving this information where we realize that women love men who do very, very bad things. And that's not good. That is very bad when you have so many men in this country and in the world in general. We're talking about India and China. You know, it's even worse over there, or at least comparable anyway. And they're just increasing, you know, the no ability to secure a partner. Just women are just spitting in their face and treating them like shit. Everybody's telling them to fuck off and you're worthless and you mean nothing. The only way that you can possibly mean anything is if you're willing to bend the knee and basically champion all of our causes and white knight for what we want and do everything we want and never be confident. And this is why you have these guys who get into this shit. You know, like we had the Communist Party USA or whatever. Basically, you know, they all are white knighting, or what's that guy? There was a guy for Mike.com who I don't even remember what the hell his name was now. Was it Vic Berger? Or I don't remember what the hell his name was. Some guy, but he was, you know, he wrote, oh, virgin men are the worst. He wrote all these articles saying they're terrorists and stuff, and it turns out he was raping women in the offices. He was fucking raping them in the elevator, all this different stuff. He was just he was being a mouthpiece to try and get close to women because he couldn't do it any other way. And then finally, you know, when he fucking snapped, and you know they weren't accepting his advances. It was all projection. This guy's projecting like crazy, and he finally gets found out to be raping women and gets, you know, fired. And I don't think he's said anything on social media since then. But I just don't think it's a very good information to have for a bunch of men who are increasingly shit on and increasingly treated like shit and increasingly pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And then you just go, oh yeah, by the way, men who are criminals and all this different stuff, women love that, and they'll fucking throw themselves at you by the droves if you commit a crime. So we had Nicholas Cruz was his name, the guy who did the Parkland shooting. He came out and said in the news, he said, oh yeah, the women love me now. They want me so much now. Anyways, it's all really bad, and we need to fucking repeal the 19th Amendment because women are not fit to vote. They are not. They do not have the capability to think rationally. They just follow wherever they are led like dogs. They just can't figure that shit out. They have ideas are fed to them. They do not think. That's why the number one issues that women vote on are abortion. 40% of women say it's the number one issue, and then like birth control is like the second biggest issue. They don't care like what we care about. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about any of that stuff. Because they'll just, no matter what happens, they're going to fucking flock to the Chads for to be whatever, or to, in this case, a lot of government, they're flocking to the government. Oh, censor this, give me these welfare, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. All right, well, I think that's about all I got to say on this topic. So that was basically the atomic black pill part 2, I guess. Once again, it doesn't shock me at all. It really doesn't shock me whatsoever, but I'm just saying it's not setting a good precedent for where we are headed in this world. So, all right, catch you later.